Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you another video. All right, quickly do a therapy session just to tell you guys that I was trying to do my SARS just now while on the run out here, while I'm walking around, because social worker called me and said that the SARS needed to be updated in regards to the amount of money that was sent to me. They needed proof of the money in regards to my bank statements, and which I had already uploaded, but he wanted something that showed the entire amount for the month, and he wanted me to sign the document itself. So I had to go through here and try to figure out how to sign it, and I was having a little trouble with that, but ultimately got it done. So that's what I've been doing for the last 30 minutes in the hot sun. It's like 90 degrees, so I found a little place to shade and just took care of it. But my morning's going pretty good. I had to convince myself to leave the house. I really didn't feel like it, to be honest with you. But I've been in the house a little too much and on this side of town for my liking. So I figured I'd just get out, go to Hollywood, maybe get a salad or something, come back. So I really don't need to purchase anything. Everything I need is in there. So, oh man, but that was a little stressful because I'm like, there's no update to my financial situation. And the only thing that y'all really need to know is the same thing y'all already know. But they're like, yeah, but when it comes to money, we want an update for the month. And I'm like, bro, but it's the same money coming every month. There's no change. So I'm a little frustrated with that. They make you jump through hoops because they don't want to pay you your money. That's really what it comes down to. Any reason they can give you to give up and not take what they have to give, they'll put in front of you. Any type of situation, they can make it a little tough on you. They make it tough on you so that you'll walk away and find another way. And then in doing so, likely it's illegal. They can throw you in jail for that. So it's all in conjunction with itself. It's not an accident that they make these things extremely difficult, but trying to make sure that I have my food benefits for next month, because I don't want to snag in that. And today is the final day, even though they told me it's the 5th. It's not the 5th, it's the 3rd or the 2nd, whatever the hell today is, 2nd. So I got a phone call from him saying, yeah, you got to do it today. I'm like, bro, I'm out and about, man. Like, I'm not even in the house. I'm not somewhere stationary. He's like, well, as long as you get it in today. I'm like, so I tried my very best, man. I sent them like 3 different signed versions of that SARS. I also made sure that I sent them documents of proof of finances, sign that. So there shouldn't be any snag, I don't think, but I'm sure he will call me back if he finds one. I just hope I'm not on the train when he does it. But yeah, man, just irritated. I'm sick of this state. I'm sick of this whole process. It should not be this hard for people to get what it is that's available to them. But because they penny pinch helping people and create every possible pathway to not have to do so, they make it hard, extremely hard. Stuff like this. So, if you're not savvy with that, or if you didn't get the phone call, you miss out. Now that you got to go through the entire process and you got a whole month where you don't have your food benefits. Ain't no people need this stuff. You know what I'm saying? But they make it hard on you. They ain't gonna prorate it while they're waiting on you to get the information. They just gonna take it from you until you get it to them. So it's like, don't make no mistakes. Don't miss that phone call. Don't not have your phone on you or something. Like, it could be the difference between being able to get those benefits or not. So, it's a Zionist world, man. You know how they are. They want all the money so they can send it to Israel. That's really what it comes down to. Any little bit of dollars they can send to Israel to destroy these children so that they can please their Israeli God, that's what they're gonna do. They got all the money in the world to bomb children, but nothing to feed the people of this country who vote for their sorry asses. So I'm over it, man. A good old revolution is what this government needs. They need a full-fledged revolution, man. Everything they're doing is backwards. I saw something. They were saying that they're trying to more or less make it illegal for people to protest in schools. And they want to, quote unquote, punish all these woke schools that stand against Israel. So they're acknowledging that it's something that should basically be done, but they're going to stop it because it's in their best interest to do so. When they put woke out there, woke means that you're awoken to the bullcrap that they're doing. They don't appreciate that. But for them to word it that way, it's like they're not even hiding anymore. So we need to be aware of what it is that's running this country. You need to be aware that this is what is out there. And for those who are standing against this, but who don't know everything that there is to know about those who are protesting and why they're protesting, you need to understand the different sneaky little ways they're trying to get people to align with the side of Israel. If it's just, then why do they have to silence those who speak out against it? Why do they have to sneakily try to keep us from the information in whatever way they do? Keep us from the images. Hop into these social media sites, as I was telling y'all last time, and change our settings so that we're not able to see what's going on in those situations. You know, that type of stuff. It's like if you're on the right side, why does all that need to be done? Why do they need to change laws to keep people from protesting against something? Do people protest things when things are just? Rarely do they do, not if they have any sense. And you have people who are highly educated, students, people that they know they've allowed into their system of education because of their intelligence and because of how well they did in academia in the first 12 years of school. Now when those people are woke enough to see that what they're doing is wrong, suddenly they want to lose the credibility or destroy the credibility of these students. Suddenly they look at these people as woke and stupid when they stand up for what's right. So that's just what it is, man. We got an evil government, and this is not independent of that. They want to take the money that they're supposed to be giving to people who are not able to take care of themselves, people who are mentally ill, and they want to give it to a foreign entity that intends to kill children and destroy poor people. It's a war against poor people. It's really what it is. So, you know, man, I just aware of it. That's why I asked the Lord to, you know, immobilize me in the right way so that I can be on the right side of what he wants me to do. Because this world, if you're doing everything they telling you to do, if you're moving by the book, you're going to stand on the sideline and support them killing these people. That's what you're going to do. If you're doing what this government wants you to do, you're going to wave an Israeli flag and tell everybody that Hamas is a terrorist and that Israel is a victim. That's exactly what your government wants you to do in this country in 2024. And if you've been paying attention to what I've been paying attention to, you know that that is not right. You know that's not accurate. You know that that is corrupted. It's just simply corrupt information. It's corrupt point of view, bought and paid for propaganda. So that's why I'm like, man, I don't even want to be in this country for much longer. If I get myself together, my intention is to get the hell out of here, to be honest with you. For those who say, well, you don't love your country, just leave. I would love to. I'm at a point where I don't want to be here. If this is what's going to run this country, then I don't want to be here when the bombs start bursting. When these enemies start coming over and terrorizing y'all for allowing this to happen, for allowing all the evil that you've allowed all over the world. When they finally do touch down over here and start wreaking havoc and vengeance and get back for what has been done to them, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. You understand what I'm saying? That's the God's honest truth. I don't want any of y'all to be here either. So if we can't get our government together, if we can't get the criminals, the actual criminals who are making laws out of there and give them up basically over to the people who ultimately hate them for treating them so poorly, because that's really what it is, turn them over to us type stuff. That's what needs to happen. It ain't gonna be just you putting them in jail. No. You're gonna have to turn them over. And since I don't see that coming, then we're destined for some type of serious warfare. If it ain't coming in this era, it's gonna come in the next, but it's coming. Y'all can't just keep on killing people's kids and terrorizing people and doing types of weird stuff and then supporting those who do more of the same, aligning with those who are traumatizing these people and abusing these people and all of the weird stuff that we've been talking about over the last 264 days in the name of Israel. If y'all don't put an end to that, I promise you, the future is going to be a lot more bleak for this country than the past was. Believe me, all this comfort, all these little things that we enjoy, you're going to see more and more people trying to bring forth terrorist attacks on our country. It's coming. It's coming. It's letting y'all know, because at the end of the day, you can't keep doing all of this when the world sees you. It's one thing for people to be in the dark about it. It's another thing when your own citizens are tired of it. And that's what's happening in this country. Talk about leaving the back door open. You're going to see so many American people that leave the back door open for these quote-unquote terrorists who are really just people abused by our government to come on in here and do crazy stuff. It's coming. It's coming. Because half the people that are witnessing this that don't appreciate it are here. That's what people need to understand. And that's the funny thing about it. A lot of those in control of this don't have a full understanding, aren't even in the streets to know who's all here in the country. When they talk about immigrants, they automatically thinking they have certain ideas in their head about who they are viewing that way. There's a lot of the people who are making these laws don't fraternize with people at all. They stay in their little bubbles, and they go to their little courtrooms, and they make their certain decisions that affect all of us, and then they go back into their little lives, shut the door. They don't know who's in this damn country. They have no idea. And the reality is, there are a lot of people from a lot of places here, some of which don't like them very much. And now, we're getting into a point, like I said, where so many people who are here, that are born here, raised here, and hate this place because of what it is they've come to understand over the last 264 days. Newfound enemies on our soil. And they ain't really enemies. They just despise the evil that has been done in the name of this, keeping this thing going. Despise it. And so that's what I'm telling you. It's like, y'all, you don't understand. Like, talk about leaving the back door open in the streets. This country's leaving the back door open all over the place. It ain't gonna be too many people that don't allow for this thing to be torn down eventually. People gonna be sabotaging it left and right. I don't know why you leaders don't see this coming. I don't know why you don't see this coming. It's so obvious to me when you show your own people that you are so corrupted that you have given over your entire government to a foreign agency so that they can do evil things. Why don't you see that people here are going to turn this thing upside down? And the people in these different countries that are aligned with that too are going to turn this thing upside down. Why don't y'all see that coming? And you're traumatizing us daily with genocide, keeping us from getting what it is we're supposed to have, and such examples as what I've been showing y'all today. What's keeping me from saying, yo, let them in, blow that up, let them in, corrupt that, tear them up, come on in, take that. What's to keep people from doing that? While y'all trying to adhere to Israel, what you don't realize is the spiritual ramifications of what it is they're doing is destruction, self-destruction. So when you align with a self-destructive force, you're going to be destroyed by standing next to it, because it's going to blow up. But the lack of self-awareness comes with that type of evil. So they think they are mighty. They think this is sustainable. No. You're creating enemies. And the more and more woke universities that come around with woke individuals that are protesting this, the more you're going to start to realize what it is I'm saying is going to come to pass. People spreading the word. People are coming to understand that they don't have the support of a government, that government is bought and paid for, that they presidents, both of the presidents, one of them is supposed to be a criminal out here running around the streets. He should be in prison for what he's been convicted of. He get to run. The other guy's brain is shot by dementia and old age. I mean, you're going to have more and more people looking around saying, man, come on in. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. Al-Qaeda, Hamas, whoever these people's enemies are, come on in. That's what you're going to see next. More and more people going to be joining those quote-unquote terrorist organizations that ain't really terrorist organizations. They're just a response to the evil that these terrorists been doing. That's all it is. Uprising, man. I'm telling you. And y'all think y'all got enough army and all of that to stop people from tearing this place up. But what you're going to find out is half of that army going to be letting the back door in too. Because it's going to be their cousins that they're going to have to kill in order to back you. And they're going to understand, whether they following orders or not, eventually they're going to understand that you're the bad guy. Eventually they're going to understand that what it is that they're upholding should not be upheld. They're going to get it at some point. And you're going to see more and more coups. And this place is going to be a war zone. I hope I'm wrong for y'all's sake. I hope I'm wrong for mine. But the reality is, this is just a byproduct of the evil that these people are doing. When you sell your whole country to some evil entity that wants to do nothing but kill children, it wouldn't even be that big a deal if Israel just wanted to do business as usual. If they were just regular, literally regular, like we thought they were up until this point, it would be kind of bad, right? Because you turning your country over to a foreign entity. But they're not standing still. They're murdering kids. They're doing all types of abusive stuff. They make a mockery of people's religion, all different types of stuff. Like, they're not just standing still. So when you turn your government over to an entity like that, you weaponize your own people against that government eventually. Eventually, the government and the people are going to be at odds. And that is exactly what the enemy wants. That's exactly what the devil wants. While y'all doing the devil's deeds, that's exactly what he wants. The fall of white supremacy is underway, man. I'm telling y'all, this is not sustainable. It's not. No demonic energy is sustainable. It's really not. There's one thing about a hateful entity is it certainly hates itself. Not really aware of that, but subconsciously that's what it embodies. It's a loathing for self, which is why it allows itself to be seen in the way that it does. Which is why it engages in such destructive behavior so that the world will hate it. It never fully covers its tracks. And it's because it's controlled by an entity that wants to destroy it. And so, I'm telling y'all, that's why none of that stuff that people are trying to normalize is really actually going to ever be made normal. Genocide and all these different things, treating people poorly, none of that stuff is ever going to be actually made normal, because what powers them to try to do that is not a self-sufficient energy. It's a self-destructive energy. It's a destroyer of things, itself included. So that's what I come to understand. Like, that's not going to work. If you're going to line up over there with them, you got to know that what I'm saying, you will soon see come to pass. It's not something you want to line up with. Listen to people like Bruno Mars standing with Israel. Listen, bro, I get it. A lot of them people who signed your contracts and made you very wealthy and famous, made your dreams come true, they represent that. And then you've been taught to think that the world is about rising to the top, and those who are your bosses who've been so kind to you, chose you out of a million people that they could choose to put in the machine to make famous. You appreciate them. Problem is, they didn't put you there because they loved you and wanted to see your success. They put you there because they knew you could be one of many, 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 many moving parts that can keep them empowered. So while you celebrating them, you need to understand that in a moment's notice, when it no longer benefits them to keep you in that position, you're gonna fall. I would say that to anybody who wants to back that type of energy, anybody who wants to back that type of entity, if they're killing children and they celebrating you, they will turn around and kill you and your children eventually, if it makes sense to them. And that's the part I don't understand about those who celebrate those folks. Like, you don't see that? One thing I learned in this life, you don't always just pay attention to how people are treating you. You pay attention to how people are treating you and others. If you're the only person they treat kind, and you're the only person they treat nice, that self-absorption of yourself to say, well, they treat me good, I don't care how they treat everybody else, is exactly what is needed for them to continue to get over in this world. They need as many of you in key places as possible so that they can be safe. Because as long as you are saying, well, as long as they don't treat me bad, they get to treat everybody bad. And eventually, when you default and come to understand what I've learned, they're going to treat you worse. They treat you worse. Because you're supposed to be in their back pocket no matter what they do. And you're going to start seeing that. Y'all pro-Israel people going to start seeing that. Y'all going to see it. If an entity is in the business of deleting innocence, it is no good for anybody, least of all itself. And just because they've come to a place where they can define words as they see fit, doesn't mean that the representation of what it is that they've changed is in place. It still remains. If I call evil good and good evil, it doesn't make what I'm doing any less what evil means. It just means that I've convinced all of y'all to change the wording of things, to buy myself some time. It didn't change what it is that I'm doing being evil. It's still evil. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what Israel's done. They buy themselves time. Anything that opposes them and anti-Semitic, that's buying time. That doesn't change the fact that they're not actually representing the Semitic people in a positive way while being rallied against. People aren't anti-Semitic. What they are is against the evil that these individuals who pretend to be Semitic are doing. Evil that they've convinced a lot of you isn't evil at all because they changed the definition of what evil means. But it's still represented just the same as them being mean. So I'm telling you, if you align with them, you better really consider, if you're not an absolute monster, or you don't define yourself as an absolute monster, you had better understand that there is a damn good chance that you've been had. It's a damn good chance you've been had. You may not believe that. The people that you are hearing say that to you, you may not hold as credible. But time is going to show you clearly as I've seen with my own eyes in regards to what it is that I've been seeing in regards to Israel. You're going to see it too. You're on the wrong side of not only history, but you're on the wrong side of right and wrong. When you celebrate, support, and turn the blind eye to what it is that they're doing. And if you're fine with that, that's what it is. But if you're not fine with that, or if you think that it's something other than what it is I just described, I'm here to tell you that you have been had. You've been had, man. And at the end of this life, when you do meet a living God who created you, he is going to tell you the exact same thing I just said, that you have been had. They coerced you into the hell that they was going to for supporting them and killing innocent people, children, by corrupting the morality of what it is to me. It means to be humane. They've corrupted that. They've warped the minds of those who support them to think that it's okay to kill children because a few of them have been murdered. That they have to wipe an entire people out, whether they're innocent or not, because there are a few bad people may be in their midst. That is corrupted humanity. That's not real. That's bad math in every other sort. Least of all in humanity when we're talking about the lives and the definitions and the value of a person's life. That's bad math. I don't have a right to kill your children because you may have killed my son or something like that. I don't have that right. That makes me a bad guy too. That makes me no different than you. And you got a whole country of people who believe otherwise because they've been corrupted into thinking that that is humanity, that they are better and above others. And you adhere to them, they're mistaken. You can't adhere to a mistaken people, man. That's what our country has done. That's what our government's done, is adhere to a mistaken people. They've been coerced by whatever way to thinking that their lives are more valuable than everyone else's. And our country and our government has taken their money and turned over their power to these people. And as a result, they are shamelessly destroying people without being held accountable for it. That's what's happening. So if you're supporting that, I hope that you know that you are a monster or I hope that you understand that there's some things for you to learn before further supporting that. There's some things to discover before further supporting that. Regardless if you love the good life and you want wealth and all of these different things, wealth is nice. But if what it requires to receive wealth is that you betray humanity itself, then the environment for which you get to enjoy your wealth will deteriorate around you, and your wealth won't be worth what it used to be. What you thought wealth was is no longer going to be wealth when everything around you is destroyed and people trying to come after you for the bad that you allowed to take place. I hope you're hearing me. BDF44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.